guys, we are back in the vehicle again. I got a sleeping baby in the back. I'm hoping it stays that way for a few minutes, at least enough for me to get this out. This is gonna be super quick. We're doing the next one on the 5 love languages. Physical touch. I'm just kidding. I'm keeping it PG. My mom and Rain's mama watches this, so it's PG. I'm not gonna really relate it to spouse relationships. You probably already know that that's important. I'm sure your husband lets you know that that's important. I'm kind of more so going to talk about like strangers, coworkers, Christ, your kiddos, how important physical touch is. So I have always been a big germaphobe. I guess you would call it, not germaphobe. I just don't like to hug, don't like to hold hands. Like, me and Rain are the complete opposite in that way, and I've had to learn to speak his love language, to hold his hand, to give him a hug. When I first met his family, they hugged when I first got there. They hugged when I went to Walmart. They hugged me a couple times when I was leaving. You know, they know this, so when they hear this, this will be no surprise to them. I used to still do sometimes go hide in the back room when it's time for him to leave, and I hate hugging, and I hate goodbyes too, but it's just something I've really had to work on. I've gotten better at it since I've had kids, because I mean, you're being constantly touched. But I was trying to figure out how to relate this back to Jesus, because that's the whole point of this, is to always relate it back to Jesus and what he says about physical touch. And physical touch is obviously so important in your spousal relationship, but also your kiddos. You know, they need you to put your hand on their shoulder and just be like, it's gonna be okay, or give them a hug when they do something wrong. Pick them up and say, you know, it's okay that you did something wrong, but let's work on it, you know. But also in just life in general, somebody maybe that you don't like, but that you need to give a hug to, or somebody that maybe is not clean, or somebody that the Lord tells you to reach out to, that you don't want to reach out to. And so in Jesus's time, when he walked the earth, he was around lepers and people that were not clean, people that were not pristine and not kings and queens. He was around lowly people, probably dirty, unclean people, and he greeted them with a kiss. You see that all throughout his walk. But my favorite verse on physical touch with Jesus on earth is Matthew 8:1-3. I'll go ahead and read it for if you're driving. When he was come down from the mountain, great multitudes followed him. And behold, there came a leper and worshipped him, saying, Lord, if thou wilt, thou canst make me clean. And Jesus put forth his hand and touched him, saying, I will, be thou clean. And immediately his leprosy was cleansed. I heard a great message on this one time, touching the untouchables, and it really kind of changed my career. At the time, I was working in pediatrics with people that had lice, had bed bugs, snotties. They were dirty, and I worked in a population that was very, very poor, and I struggled because I am such a germaphobe. And I heard a message in a time when it helped me so much, touching the untouchables. Those kids, I had to realize I was sometimes the only love that kid had. That kid may need a hug that day, and that might be the only hug they get until they see me again. And that's what Jesus did. He touched the untouchables, the people that nobody wanted, the people that were dirty, the people were saying, stay away from them. Jesus showed love to them. And so that, at that time, that really, really changed my career, really changed me. And also, whenever my kids are sick, I do this a lot. I put my kids down to bed. I know they're not feeling good. I'm praying, I'm like, Lord, please just hug my children up, be with them, keep them safe. And so when you imagine being safe and the Lord protecting you, I always imagine just a big bear hug from him. I always imagine him just holding me and just feeling so safe. Physical touch, and so I encourage you today, and I always try to encourage something. I know this is very weird, but just if the Lord puts it on your heart to give somebody a hug, or just to go to the altar and put your hand on someone's shoulder and pray with them, that's huge, just to know that somebody's there for you. So physical touch might be an odd one. I'm sure your husband's love language is probably physical touch, so you can work on it in that way, but also just with other people and just in general. Thanks, guys.